And we made it to day 40 of 50 days of fitness. We are 80% done. It's unbelievable. And this last 10 days are going to fly by. And this first 40 days, I don't know how you feel about it. In some ways, it feels like, we just started. And in some ways, it feels like we've been doing this forever. So, anyway, today is Sunday. On Sundays, I usually call it Bump It Up Sunday, and I review what I've been doing for the week and see if I want to change anything. And and I am. I'm going to make a few changes. The regimen this week, starting today, I'm on my second cup of coffee today. I've earned both of them. So here's the quick thing: 20 squats, 20 toe touchers, 20 calf raises, 15 lateral raises over the head, kind of touching my hands, 15 forward raises like that. Then 15, I went from 12 to 15 curls with my band, and from 12 to 15 shrugs, also with my band, keeping my grip trainers at 12 on each hand. Then running upstairs to my Bowflex to do my bench press, and same weight, going from 12 reps to 15 reps. And the seated row, also on my Bowflex, going from 12 reps to 15 reps at the same weight. And it's actually a pretty big bump this weekend. And they're getting kind of hard. And I started to worry about next week, because next week I was supposed to go to 20 from those things that are 15. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that might be hard to do. And but you can't think about that. Don't get ahead of yourselves. Get through, do today. Get through today, get through this week. Don't start worrying about stuff down the road. So that's my Bump It Up. The weight, I weighed in this morning. I'm at 200 again. So that means that, with the exception of that one day last week where I just for no particular reason jumped back up to 202, I've been at 200, and I think this is 11 days. So, 1.5 weeks and staying there. So I may have hit a plateau. We'll see. We'll see. We're not going to call it official until Tuesday for the official. Tuesday's the official weigh day. But it looks like there's a good chance that we're hitting a plateau here. So today, after all of that, I thought I would talk a little bit about running. I haven't run in a long time, and I really miss running. I've had like 5 knee surgeries, and the last one was a knee replacement, and that kind of set me back. That's basically when I quit running, and I've run a little bit since then, but not a lot. But I miss running, and I have a love-hate relationship with running. Part of me hates it. Part of me hates it, but part of me loves it. And I miss running in the park. I miss going and doing those things. I miss watching other people run. I miss running with groups. And I'm that weird guy who is often watching people run in the park, because I don't know what it is. It seems like poetry. I don't know. I watch people run. So I don't know if I'm going to do that or not, but I'm thinking about it. And so I don't know if you guys are runners or not, but I will tell you there's a few tips. If you are going to run, if you've never run before, I would say don't just go out and run. I would say that is probably a bad idea. And I would also say that when you start, you should be running less than you want to. And here's what I mean by that is, if you haven't really run before and you just go out and you try to run, and you run until you say you're exhausted and you stop. Well, you're probably going to, you're not going to, you're not going to enjoy it. You maybe not get very far, and you may set yourself up to get like shin splints and all these other things. So I would say that if you're starting from zero, a better idea is to go out and do interval runs. And so what does that look like? That would be where you run for a minute and then walk for a minute, and then run for a minute, and then walk for a minute. And the first time, again, I should say you should do less than you want to. So maybe do it for, say, 10 minutes. So basically, you're only running 5 minutes. So you run for a minute, walk for a minute, run for a minute, walk for a minute. And then that first time, and that's it. And you're going to want to do a lot more, but I promise you, you'll be much happier if you do the other thing. And even that 10 minutes, you may be surprised that your legs will really be sore that first time. And I also wouldn't say that, especially when you're first starting out, you shouldn't run every day. So like if you do that one day, skip a day, and then do it the next day. And kind of do that for, say, a week. And then after a week, then what you might do is do the same thing, but increase the amount of time. So instead of 10 minutes, maybe you go to 12 minutes and do that same thing. And kind of get through that and get a couple of weeks under your belt doing that. But then you can gradually step up, so after you do that for a little while, and let's say you get up to, 15 minutes or maybe even 20 minutes. Then maybe you keep your total time, but you start increasing the amount of running. So maybe when you get to that point, you go to 2 minutes running and 1 minute walking, and 2 minutes running and 1 minute walking, and do that. And eventually you'll get to the point where you'll be running a mile nonstop before you know it. And I mean, it will seem really slow at first, but you'll probably be surprised when you look back on it how quickly you advanced. And then, before you know it, then you'll probably, you'll be doing 3 miles or whatever. So it depends upon what your goal is and what you're trying to do. But that's a good way to start. I wouldn't just go out and start running. I mean, there are some people that can do that, but I would say your chances of success are better if you do it like this. When you get beyond that point, when you're running, a mile, 2, 3 kind of regularly, if you're trying to train for a 5K or a 10K or something like that, then there's another training strategy. Kind of, get through the beginning part, and then the next training strategy. And there's kind of a set strategy. There's like 3 days a week, 4 days a week, 5 days a week kind of running schedules. And it all sort of depends upon what you're doing, but kind of a standard training schedule would be, Sunday is your off day, Monday is your recovery day, and that is a very, very slow run, very slow. Tuesday is usually like your speed day, if you're trying to increase your speed, and that's with like sprint intervals. Wednesday is kind of your medium length day. It's usually about right around half the distance of whatever your long run is for the week. Thursday is just kind of a general run day. Friday, you take off. Saturday is sort of your long run day. So let's say your long run is 2 miles, which you may say that's not a long run, but for the purpose of this thing, so that we can understand that, if your long run is, say, 2 miles, your Wednesday run would probably be 1 mile. And then you fill in all the others sort of around that. And then you kind of stair step up. You're kind of increasing over time. And so it's kind of usually you bump up 1 week, bump up 2 weeks, bump up 3 weeks. And then on the 4th or the 5th week, you cut back a little bit. And then you start up, stair stepping up again. And if you do that, you'll be surprised. You'll be, bumping up before you know it. I know, like when I was doing marathon training, it just seemed like it was impossible. It's like you couldn't even imagine that you could run, 10 miles. And next thing you know, 10 miles seems like, a short run. And you're running, 14, 15, 16, 20 miles. And I mean, it's unbelievable. But you get there before you know it. Now, you want to have a plan, you want to do that, but that's, we're getting ahead of ourselves here. If you're starting out, you haven't run at all, I would say start out with like interval training. Now, that's my experience as a runner, as I was learning to run, as I was talking to other people who were learning to run and helping me learn how to do it. And I'm going to say again, I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not even a personal trainer. But that's the way that I did it, and that's the way I learned to do it. And so, again, I'm going to remind you another thing to do, check out Knees Over Toes Guy. I think his channel is called ATG. He is great. He has some great tips for running and for training to try to prevent injury. You know, there's all these injuries. Running, one of the things about running is it is easy to get injured, and it can set you back, and it can throw you out for weeks if you're not careful. So you do want to be smart about it. And so he has some training tips for that. And he's a great, great follow. If you don't know Knees Over Toes Guy, everybody should know Knees Over Toes Guy. So anyway, that is it for Bump It Up Sunday. And if you're going to go out and run, and I don't know, I miss running. I might give it a try. See how these old knees do. See if I can do it. And that's it, my friends. I hope you have a great day today, and only 10 days left. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for day 41. If you are finding these videos fun or useful, or if you know someone who might enjoy them, maybe you give me a like or a share, and maybe you can even subscribe. So we're going to finish up our 50-day challenge here. We finished the 50-day challenge, 50 days of trash, before this, which is kind of fun. And then here, I may not start the next 50-day challenge immediately, but I'll start it up again. And we're going to decide on our next 50-day challenge, and we will start then. And hopefully you'll want to join me. Have a great day, everybody. Take care. Bye.